Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I want to talk about energy and how we can protect our energy from people, places, and things. I'll also be talking about other things too, whatever comes to my mind. With all my videos, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I'm simply sharing my opinions. Feel free to disagree respectfully, do everything respectfully. So let's start off this video with a quote from Nikola Tesla, inventor, scientist, all-around amazing mind. He said, if you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything is energy. Let's think about that for a second. This pen is energy. My clothing is energy. The room that I'm in right now is energy. Any different social setting, bar, club, concert, office, has a type of energy, like the feng shui, ancient Chinese practice of kind of in a way architecture and how things are laid out with airflow, being close to the door. It's a perspective. So your space is very important. With the space to have lighting, well lit, dimly lit, candle lit, as well as music, soft music, heavy music. This all influences the mood, as well as the people in that environment. Are they feeling angry? Are they upset? Are they very tense? This all influences the energy of the space. So if you ever felt like this off vibe, you're not crazy, okay? It's a thing. At least I think it's a thing. I have here crystal, selenite. A lot of people believe that crystals have energetic properties. So whether or not you agree is one thing, but I think it's not so much seeing as believing, it's believing as seeing. So if you set your intention that this crystal selenite has cleansing properties, which I believe it does, then it most certainly does. One of my spiritual teachers said something that really stuck with me. She said, don't eat food prepared by someone that doesn't like you. They don't like you. They're putting their intention into the food. Why would you eat that? You want to eat the food prepared by someone that truly cares for you, and they want you to be happy and they want you to enjoy that. So there's an energy component in the food being prepared too. This is what I believe. So a lot of things are deeper than we think. Anything can be deep, anything can be shallow, anything could be black, anything could be white. That's what I think. But there's always this gray area as well. What is water? I have water in my cup right now. So, oh, it's just water. No, it's not just water. In the words of Bruce Lee, like, you put water in the cup, it becomes the cup. We drink water, and animals and plants drink water to nourish, to give life to ourselves. Water can also be rough, and you can drown in water. You can also swim on water. You can surf on water. So water is truly amazing, and it can take on many forms and properties. Ultimately, water can provide life, and it could also take away life. I know because I drowned in the swimming pool in Disney World when I was like 10 years old. Lifeguard had to save me. Okay, I'm losing my point here. Basically, the intention behind something is very important because anything can be molded. It's the perspective behind it. So on the topic of attention, attention is valuable. Where you place your attention, you place your energy. If we're all energetic beings, think about where you're placing your attention. The media, they want to grab your attention. How they do that a lot of times is through fear. You turn on the news, there's a lot of fear-based content. I'm not saying don't watch it and be informed, but a lot of it is coming from an angle of fear. It's coming from an angle of lack. And this is how they can control you, because they put you in this low vibrational, fearful, energetic state. And you're basically at the disposal of being influenced or impressionable to anything that comes your way, because it's almost like you don't have a shield, right? You're not protecting your energy. But I don't think that this is done very directly all the time. A lot of it is indirect. The news and media likes to play to certain pain points that you have, like, oh, are you experiencing chronic pain in your blah blah blah, or like 1 in 4 Americans have suffered from. So this is reaching your emotions, your fear, your lack. Also, let's look at what's popular in mainstream pop culture, the trends. Now, I'm not saying all trends are bad, but what's hot and trendy, usually there's an agenda attached to it. Anytime there's a trend or something, I'm learning to identify the story. What is the narrative behind this certain trend? Attention flows where energy goes. Sometimes what the narrative is proposing and the reason why they're recommending something in support of this cause might not be the actual cause. Sometimes they hide the truth in plain sight. So let's look at this whole plant-based food movement that is being encouraged as trendy right now. And they have a lot of meat replacers now entering the market. And the reason why they have these meat replacers is because it's better for the environment. It helps with climate change. Now, I went to Arizona State's Global Institute of Sustainability. I was one of the first graduating classes. Not that that means anything, but I do in fact believe in climate change. I believe it's a real thing. But I'm learning as I get older to question everything, question the narrative behind everything. Christopher Columbus, did he discover America? No. So why do we celebrate Christopher Columbus as discovering America? The advertised narrative is not necessarily the truth, or the reason behind something is not necessarily the truth. So you always have to use discernment and dive deeper. So let's talk about climate change. Whether or not you agree in climate change is one thing, but let's say it's real. Whenever there's a trendy thing to do with a scientific reason behind it, there's usually a monetary connection to it as well. So a lot of millionaires have invested in meat replacers as a way to combat climate change. I don't know necessarily if it's because of climate change or if they just want to make more money with this narrative that is true, but they're not showcasing the full truth behind it. Plant-based food has been around for a long time. There's a lot of vegans out there, and I try to eat more of a plant-based lifestyle, and it is because I want to take care of the environment and be more sensible to the environment. But it goes deeper than that. I believe that since we're all energy, plants are energy, animals are energy, everything is energy, I want to be eating energetic rich foods, not necessarily like artificial lab-made foods. I don't know. With animals, they have a higher level of consciousness than say like my pen maybe, and when you slaughter animals, the pain that they feel gets transferred over to you. Energy never dies, it's only transferred. This narrative I've heard regarding more of a spiritual reason why eating a more plant-based diet is beneficial for the environment and for yourself, because you don't want to take in that pain energy and you want to consume, you are what you eat, consume high vibrational things. So eating a lot of meat could lower your vibration, could lower your frequency. Now I don't know if that's true. I personally still choose to eat meat, but I choose to eat less of it. I choose to eat more fruits and vegetables. I've had the meat replacers, they do taste good, but I prefer to eat more fruits and vegetables. That's just me. But I just encourage you to think constructively and question why things are the way they are. Why is there certain movements? It's important for us to ask. And taking this a step deeper about climate change, I believe the earth is sentient and feels what we feel. So when we pollute the planet, the earth feels it. Also, if we're all energy and the earth is energy, if we can't live life without killing one another, without lying to one another, without being rude to one another, I want to believe that the earth feels pain that we're feeling. The earth feels the pain. I think that also contributes to climate change in a way. It's the collective consciousness of the planet. People say like, oh, if you want to change the world, change yourself, because it has this ripple effect. If you believe that we're all co-creators, if we all think positive, if we all want to come together, then that will have a compounded effect on the planet. But if we all compoundly become selfish, greedy, and want to pollute the planet, then don't you think the planet will feel it? That's what I think, okay? So think about that. I just touched on a lot of things. As I'm speaking this, I have like a sore throat right now, so I'm gonna change topics. But anyway, I realize in the construct that we live in, there's always these replacements or these items that are quick hits of dopamine that are marketed, that are advertised as being very effective, very beneficial, and they play to these like lower vibrational pain points that we have, like not being good enough, not being strong enough, not looking good enough. These are how companies make money. They want to make advertising with brashness, with being over the top, with fear, so they can grab your emotions, so they can play with your emotions and get your attention and make money off your attention. For example, I used to, when I was younger, like in high school, want to consume all these protein supplements that in retrospect are like trash, really. Like they have garbage chemicals in them. But I thought, since one, my friends were taking them, social proof, as well as the marketing behind it, like showing really fit people taking them, I thought the way in which I would gain the most amount of muscle in the shortest amount of time. And that is flawed. The shortest amount of time is not a good approach to life. Imagine like planting a tree, right? You don't plant a tree and then try to like make the tree grow 3 times faster. It takes time, it takes a process. And that's the same thing with us. Maybe the tree, if you add a lot of chemicals, will grow faster now, but maybe the land won't be usable next year. Okay, these are things that you need to think about. But at the time, I didn't care about the effects of my body. I didn't care about the ingredients. I just wanted that quick gain. And that's what marketing does. They play to your lower vibrations. Not all the time, but sometimes. You need it to prove yourself. You need it to be the best. And what's popular now, these influencers, including myself, are selling like courses, how to get rich and stuff like this. A lot of them are targeting you based on lower vibrations, of you not feeling like you're good enough, of you wanting that big payout. So they're teaching you something very specific. It's like follow the plan, follow the exact guideline. You and I both know that nothing is black and white and things are bound to change. There's always unforeseen circumstances. If I do something, it's different from you doing it because there's different energy in it. So there's no such thing as a 100% foolproof plan. But a lot of times, if these influencers are trying to be like, oh, you can make X amount of money in a certain time, is that really the best message that they should be showing? You know, they show you how to develop a lead funnel where you don't have to do any work and you work like 1 hour a day. Is that really beneficial? Do you really want to work 1 hour a day? And I know some people that make a lot of money with these processes, but are they actually passionate about what they're doing? Or are they just like going through the motions, not really caring about the outcome, not really caring about the people that they're working with? They just want that quick hit, that quick money, keep the system running. Instead, with these programs, they could be teaching things like customer service, how to be a great public speaker, the ability to adapt and adjust, transferable skills. That would be more beneficial to teach in this program, because I don't think winning is essentially like building this funnel where you don't have to work anymore. I think winning is truly being able to see the change and helping people, helping your clients grow, changing people's lives. That to me is the win. That's in the process. It's not necessarily like, oh, you know, after I make X amount of money or after I do this for like 10 people, then I'll be rich. The joy is in the process. The joy is in helping people. If these courses were taught about how can you be of service to people rather than how can you just make a lot of money, I think there would be a difference. Because a lot of these courses too, they change like everything. They're obsolete as quick as they start. You have to be able to adapt and adjust. Like Facebook changes their algorithm, you can't do Facebook marketing. There's always another social media channel, so you always have to stay up to date on the next channel. So if I'm selling a Facebook course, I should also teach about the evolving landscape of social media, how to speak to customers, efficient customer service, how to be a great public speaker, things to look out for on social media, how to create a personal brand. These are transferable skills. It's not just get money and do nothing. Everything is backwards. Like, people want to take the easy route, but actually taking the easy route is the hard route. If you take the hard route, it's actually easier in the sense that it's more fulfilling. I'm not saying swim against the current, go with the flow, but take the more fulfilling route. Don't just take the route because other people are doing it, or it's because you can get that quick hit of dopamine, make that little bit of money, but then it's gone as quick as it starts, and then you don't have any foundation, you don't have any base from it, you didn't learn anything. You were just trying to do exactly what somebody else taught you. It doesn't always work like that. Mamma mia! And there's a lot of distraction. Like, are you doing what you're doing because your friends are doing it? It's because you saw it on social media? People don't know what they want when they go to a restaurant. I know I used to work in a restaurant for many years. People just don't know what to order, and it would be my job to ask them many questions like, do you want pasta? Do you want pizza? Do you like cheese? Oh no, I don't like cheese. So why are you ordering this pasta with a lot of cheese? You might not like it. Did you see it on Instagram or something? Did your friends tell you to get it so you could do like a cheese pull photo? These are certain things that we need to be aware of. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because then you're going to order the dish and you're going to take a photo, but you're not really going to like it and you're not going to be happy. Instead, you can get something else. That brings up a funny thing. You know, you work in a restaurant and you have different levels of like spiciness in the food. Do you want spicy? And they're like, oh, I want spicy. How spicy? Hot, hot? If they say hot, hot, that means they like hot. If they say mild or medium, that means don't make it hot. All right? That's what I think. So basically, you got to be a psychic and be intuitive to understand what people are thinking and saying. I know this sounds negative, but a lot of people don't really know what they want because they're trying to follow the crowd and not listening to their heart. So you listening, question everything and follow your heart. Do what feels right. You don't have to like what everybody else is like. You could like something different. The next thing I want to talk about is how you do one thing is how you do everything. We talked a lot about energy and how we are all energy. Energy never dies. Every connection that we have with people, places, and things is energy. But with any type of relationship, friends, coworker, family, it's important, I believe, to set loving boundaries, be respectful, and be aware of how much energy you're giving away to your friends, family, and coworkers, right? It's got to be in balance. We need a balance. If you give too much energy away, you're not going to have enough in your cup. back to what I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're a people pleaser, those tendencies might show up in your work, trying to do everything, in your relationship, trying to do everything, in your family, trying to do everything. So think about that for yourself and do an audit of yourself. A lot of these things come from trauma and our past is made up of emotions and experiences that we tend to replay in our mind, this story of who we are. And as a result, we're afraid to take risks, take the next step. That's why it's important to change the environment, to change the life that we're in. I'm not saying that your trauma and pain are valid, but you have a choice whether or not to be stagnant and stuck in a low vibration, blaming people for why things didn't turn out how you wanted to when things deviated a little bit, and then staying in this lower vibration, attracting low vibrational people, and then going around this loop of never really making progress and attracting more and more low vibrational people, and then to the point where it becomes comfortable, where you don't want to change, where someone that's coming at you with positivity or a different reference point, you automatically get triggered and you're like, what the heck? Because they're saying something that you can't possibly resonate with because you're so used to being around these negative low vibrational peoples, circling around, being a victim and expecting everyone to do things for you. I'm not saying it's easy. I do empathize with everyone, but I just want you to know that you have control over your destiny, over your future. Change the energetic connections that you have with the people, places, and things so you can reclaim some of that energy and then attach it to newer things that maybe are more healthier and beneficial for your progress, your evolution going forward. Alchemize the pain and grow from it. Don't let it consume you and take over you. It's like if you got wronged by many people, neglected before, taken advantage of, it's very easy to be like, I hate all people, and you're very bitter. But it takes courage to say, you know what, I've been wronged before in the past, but I'm going to show courage to be vulnerable, to put my heart out there again and again. But I'm only going to give my energy around to people that deserve my energy, and I'm going to have stronger discernment to make sure that I surround myself with the people, places, and things that are for my highest good. And if they're not for my highest good, that's okay. They're on a different path, but I don't want to engage with them. I don't want to invest in them. You know, it's hard to live your authentic self. It's hard to change. It's hard to put in that work, that progress, that development, that spiritual growth. I just saw a butterfly today, and I'm sure that the process of the caterpillar becoming the butterfly is not an easy process. It's a painful process. And I'd also like to say, and I have no proof to back this up, that the caterpillar is not necessarily 100% entirely sure of why they have to build a cocoon and that they're going to become a butterfly. So I think about life, we need to have that trust in the process, that if we're aligned in our authenticity, in who we are, and we're taking steps, that things will work out. And if they don't work out, they're just lessons. Of course, they're tough and they're painful, but you can choose to keep going forward. Act on your passions and don't be attached to the outcome. If you attach an outcome to something, it's conditional. Trust the process, trust yourself, let go of that uncertainty and fear. I believe that we're all infinite energetic beings having a human experience. There's so much beauty and unlimited potential that we can create for ourselves and manifest. But I think society wants to put us in this cookie cutter lifestyle of only doing a certain thing. I think we're all Renaissance men and women, and I think being multi-talented, of course putting in the work, putting in the time to master our skills is very important, but having many talents, having many passions is a real joy of life, because you can learn more things and be more well-rounded instead of just like labeling yourself as this certain job or this certain career. I have such a sore throat right now. I hope I'm okay. I was applying to a couple jobs, and I applied for a customer service role. It was a remote customer service role for a food tech startup. They replied back to me and they're like, have you managed a remote customer service team? I said no, but I have managed a restaurant of staff and guests in person, as well as handled remote interactions with my guests for my virtual cooking class business, as well as my pop-up bakery business. So my skills are transferable. And they replied back and they're like, you wouldn't be suited for a manager position. So, I get if I'm a doctor or lawyer, I need a specific training. But for this customer service, I've done customer service in person. It is very transferable. You don't even have those experiences that much anymore, so it's very valuable. But it has to be like in this black and white cookie cutter thing. I don't think so. Nothing is black and white. It's like water. It can take on many forms. It was a very like all over the place video. The main point, I talked about energy. Everything is energy. Protect your energy from the people, places, and things. And where your attention flows, energy goes. And where you put your attention, can influence your life. You want to be a taking energy, like, oh, I want to make $100,000. I want to, get all these clients to make $100,000. Or you want to say, I want to inspire 1,000 people. And then with that, the money, the fame will be part of it, but it's not why you're doing what you're doing. That's more of a giving, providing mindset. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, it's just my opinion on a lot of these things. I hope I encourage you to think a little bit differently. And I'm gonna stop talking because my voice hurts. Peace.